Welcome to another episode of Speed Reviews. If you're new here, my name is Rachel, welcome. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. So today I am going to be giving you my pretty much final thoughts on some products that I have been testing rigorously for the past, month or two. And many of these products I have dedicated videos on, so any corresponding videos I will link in the description box down below. But I want to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the makeup that I've been testing recently. And I want to tell you why I like or dislike them, because why I like something might be why you dislike something, and vice versa. So this is just my opinion.
That's my opinion!
Don't get your panties in a bunch. It's just makeup. I'm okay with you disagreeing with me, and I would also love to hear your thoughts down in the comments down below while I'm going through these products. If you enjoy this video while you're watching it, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love you to subscribe before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, so I would love to see you again on my channel. Every product I'm talking about, I will link down in the description box below. So I have broken up these products into 3 categories. The top of the top, which we're gonna call yes, yes, yes. In the yes, yes, yes category are the best things I tried this past month or two, things that I'm loving, things that are great, things that I suggest to you if you're interested in them. The second category is going to be meh. They're good, they're fine. Maybe they're not for me, but they're good products, they're functional products. They're not my favorites, but take them or leave them. And then in the final category is, you guessed it, it's gonna be a no from me, dog.
It's definitely a no from me, dog. The voice is just not there.
And in that category, these are things that I did not like, I probably don't suggest to you, and things that I probably will be decluttering at some point or passing along to someone else because they just didn't work out for me. And that's okay. Many of these products I am wearing on my face today, so as we're going along, you might see a little clip pop up of me applying the products. So first off, in the yes, yes, yes category, I have the One Size by Patrick Starr Bronzer Trio. So this is the trio of 3 powder bronzers. He just came out with these, a month or two ago. I bought this during the Sephora sale, but I bought it on the One Size website because it was on sale for 25% off on the One Size website, and I would have only gotten 20% at Sephora. I am loving this bronzer. So I did get the shade Light, and I'm glad I went on their website because in the description it said it runs dark, so you want to size down. You want to buy the shade lighter than you think you need, because I was thinking of medium, but the light is very, very, very pigmented, very pigmented. So the things I like about this bronzer is it's very easy to blend. It's very smooth on the skin. They're matte bronzers, which I prefer in a bronzer because I am quite oily and I'm 35, so I've got a lot of lines on my face, so I like a matte bronzer. And I love that there's 3 different undertones / 3 different shades. They go kind of light to deep, so you can mix and match. As I get tan, I can adjust my shade. The packaging is really nice. Absolutely love this bronzer. If you've been considering it, I definitely suggest picking it up, but go with the lighter side of what you think you might need, if that makes sense. Love this bronzer. And the next product, I saw this one coming. I knew it was gonna make it into the top category. This is the LYS Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush, and this one is in the shade Kindness. So I love this. Obviously it's in the top for a reason. It's a cream blush. I love the packaging. I love the triangle packaging. It's very chic. I love the rose gold. It feels very nice quality. The pan is ginormous. I love the color of this. It is a gorgeous warm tone, kind of peachy apricot color, right up my alley. And I love the formula of this. Like I said, and I'm going to say it probably 100 more times, I'm oily. So I like a cream blush that dries down matte, that isn't extra dewy, that isn't shimmery, and this is exactly what I like. It's creamy, easy to apply, buildable, so it's not super pigmented, very good for beginners. You can kind of go crazy with it and just smack it on your face and you come out looking like a soft wash of color. So I love, 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 love this blush. It's really wonderful. I want it in other colors. The next thing on the list is another cream blush formula, and this is the Blush Mallow Soft Blusher from JCat Beauty. It reminds me of the Super Shock Cheeks from ColourPop. They are a cream to powder formula, that kind of bouncy but not super emollient type of formula. I originally got the shade Tutti Fluffy, and I actually loved it so much that I bought 2 more shades. So I bought the shades Dolly Peachy and Sweet and Chic. I really like this formula. It's different than the LYS, that it definitely is a little bit more of a sheeny, dewy, moisturized look to the skin, but it's not sticky, it's not tacky, it's not wet, and it becomes one with the skin. It's more of a thinner formula, so it's not thick. I really like this, and especially for the price. I bought these 2 on Ulta. They were on sale for $2.50. So like, how can I say no to that? And I think full price, they're like $5. Very affordable. The colors that they offer are quite bright, which is interesting. They don't have those usual like baby pinks, light peaches. They are much more of the neon colors. So if you are looking for those colors and you're having a hard time finding them, especially at the drugstore, I would definitely check these out. I really like them. I like to apply them either with my fingers or with a brush. I feel like that works the best. And yeah, I've been enjoying these a lot. All right, and then I tried out quite a few new things from Flower Beauty. They had released a whole bunch of new stuff recently, and this is the only one making the top for me. So this is the Flower Chrome Crush Pressed Pigment, and the particular shade that I'm putting in the top is the shade Quartz. So it is a single shadow, and it's a loose pigment that's pressed tightly. So it's not like actual loose flakes, but it's also not a pressed like shadow. It's not as hard pressed as a shadow in a shadow palette, for example. When you work your finger in there, it kind of starts to be a little piecey. I love the shade for either a one and done situation. I've been using this when I've not had a lot of time to do my makeup, but I still want that me time just to be able to put some makeup on before I go to work. I'll put some bronzer in the crease and I'll pop this all over my lid. And it's beautiful. It's very sparkly. It's very multidimensional. It's super, super pretty. It's a champagne color, which is kind of a universal shade, and I really love it. I think the amount of product in here is perfect because I feel like when these potted shadows are too big with too much product, you're never going to get through them. I mean, I personally won't. I won't reach for this all the time, but it's got enough in there that you're going to get your money's worth. The other thing I love about this is I love to pop this on top of an eyeshadow. Like I have this in the center of my lids over what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and it just adds a little extra sparkle. And another thing I like about this is I always use the NYX glitter glue under any shimmer that I wear on my lid. And with this, I don't get fallout. I was very shocked. When I used this for the first time and I didn't have glitter on my face by the end of the day. I was convinced I was going to, but it proved me wrong. I love this, especially this color. I did buy another one that's going to end up lower on the list because I didn't like that one as much as this one, but what did I say it's called? Quartz. Yes, Quartz. Like this one a lot. All right, we only have one more thing left in the top. Most of the things I tried are in the middle, okay? So this was a little bit of a surprise for me. I'm really surprised at how much I like it. I don't even know what these are called, but these little powder puffs from Amazon. I've seen everybody online using these to set their under eyes. Boom, 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 boom. Especially Rose and Ben. Do you follow Rose and Ben on Instagram and TikTok? You should if you don't. She's got like almost 1 million subscribers, so I'm sure you do. But anyway, I first saw her using it to set her under eye with a loose powder. I was thinking, okay, I mean, how great can it be? I usually use my wet sponge. But the thing I don't love about a wet sponge is sometimes if the sponge is too wet and you do that, it can make the powder set funny. It can change the color of your concealer. And I don't like using a brush to set my under eyes because I need more of like a pressing motion. This absolutely makes your under eyes look airbrushed. It doesn't disturb the concealer underneath. You can use less powder because when I use the wet sponge, I feel like some of the powder sticks to this or is absorbed by this. Nothing. You need the littlest amount. Boom. Done. Beautiful. Obsessed. And I love how it has a point, gets right in that corner up in there. And I got a pack of 12 for like, I don't know, $20 on Amazon. I'm gonna link the exact ones I bought down below, but I highly suggest these. Highly suggest these. If you set your under eyes with a loose powder, you need it. You need it. Game changer. Okay, now we're on to the meh. Okay, now this first product almost made it to the top. Okay, and let me explain why. So I tested a whole bunch of stuff from the Jimi Hendrix Rock and Roll Beauty collection. I will link that video down below. This was one of the products from the collection. By the way, all of the eyeshadow palettes that I tried recently, I'm doing a separate video for the eyeshadow palettes. Whenever I have like 7 or 8 palettes to rank, I do a palette ranking video. So that's eyeshadow palette from that collection will be in that video. But this is the Bold as Love Blush and Highlighter palette. Okay, this I love. I love it. I really love it. Now, in my video, I talked about how these are super pigmented, and they are. These blushes are very pigmented. So I think if you have a medium or deep skin tone, this would be in the top yes for you, because the quality of these products is really good. They're all 3 matte blushes. I like that the colors are quite different, especially this middle one. It's like a brownish, reddish, pinkish, I don't know, it's very different. Very good pigmentation. They blend very nicely. For me, they're quite pigmented. I have to be very careful applying them. I have to tap my brush off like I'm playing the drums or something like that. But when I do that, they're nice. The highlighters, I don't love for my skin tone, but again, if you are more of a medium deep skin tone, these 2 are really nice. This is very metallic. And in fact, the way that I've been using this and loving it is for my eyes. So it is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. Like it looks like eyeshadow, right? And anytime I get a face palette like this and I go, oh, well, I don't like this shade for my face, but I might use it on my eyes. 9 times out of 10, I don't. Because I don't like how the pigmentation is. It's not enough pigment for me. I like pigmented eyeshadows. And blushes are usually, and highlighters, they're usually formulated in a different way than an eyeshadow, right? I would think. But these literally feel like eyeshadows. This one feels like a metallic eyeshadow. It looks like a metallic eyeshadow. These look like matte eyeshadows on the eyes. Like you could look at my eyes and think this is an eyeshadow palette. I'm loving this for the eyes. I think it's beautiful. So it's only going in the middle because this isn't meant to be an eyeshadow palette, and I feel like if I was a consumer buying this, I would expect to be using it on my face. And for my skin tone, I don't get a lot of use of this on the face. But I do like it. Now that I have it, I am going to get some use out of it on my eyes, so that part I really like. I hope I explained that well. I hope that makes sense. But I am enjoying this a lot. The next product on the list is also from the Jimi Hendrix collection. So this is the lip kit. It came with a matte liquid lipstick and a lip liner, and these are in the shade Mellow. So it is what I'm wearing on my lips. Oh, sorry, It is what I'm wearing on my lips with a gloss over it. So I'll get to the gloss in a little bit. So I really like the lip liner, actually. It's very creamy. So it's not super long lasting. But for me personally, I would prefer a creamy lip liner that doesn't last as long over a more stiff, kind of harder to apply lip liner that lasts longer, if I had to choose. I love the color. I'm obsessed with the color. It's a warm nude. I love it. I really like this lip liner. The reason this is in the middle is kind of this is offsetting this. I don't love this liquid lipstick. It's a matte liquid lipstick. So it's your typical pretty drying, which isn't my favorite formula. I don't hate it, like it's not terrible, but it's just not my preferred formula. And if I were to wear this, I would be wearing a gloss over it just for the comfortability. But I love the color. I love the lip liner. I don't really love the liquid lipstick, and that's why it's coming in the middle. All right, another thing that I tried from Flower Beauty is the Perfect Pout Soft Matte Lip Color, and I got mine in the shade Blush. So I'm kind of going to say the same thing I said about the last liquid lipstick, which is it is definitely a very liquidy, you know when you take off the lid of a liquid lipstick and you apply it and it's straight liquid, it's not velvety, it's not moussey, you know it's gonna dry down to a completely dry, matte, slightly drying formula. That's what this one does too. Again, it's not the worst liquid lipstick I've ever tried, but it's definitely a traditional dry down matte liquid lipstick, which is not my personal preference. I do like the shade of this. It's a pinky kind of color, but a different kind of pinky color. Not usually a pink person for lip products. The packaging of this is beautiful. It's in frosted glass, which I think is nice for a drugstore product. Just not my preference for a lip product. All right, and then I tried out all of the products from the Dunkin' Donuts and Elf collection. I will link that video down below as well. So I've got some products from that collection coming in here in the middle. So the first thing are the glosses. So these are the Glazed for Days glosses. They did come out with an orange and they did come out with a pink. So these are okay. I don't like the pink one. They are like a jelly. So they're not like opaque, but they definitely have a tint. So like I already just said, I don't love pink lips, and this is very pink. For me personally, I don't like this. I won't wear this one. I'm probably gonna pass it along to someone else. The orange one, actually, I've been getting some good use out of. The pros and cons are the smell is incredible. Oh my gosh. This is probably one of the best smelling glosses, in my opinion, that I've tried. It smells like a straight up donut. A straight up donut. Whatever they did in their lab to produce this Dunkin' Donuts donut scent is spot on. It's kind of weird if you think about it, isn't it? Anyway, smell, 10 out of 10. The formula is different than any other gloss I've ever tried before. So for me, it's kind of a con. I don't love the formula. It's more like balmy. It's not super glossy. It's not oily, but it's not sticky. It feels almost like a lip balm, but a little bit more shine than a lip balm, but not as much shine as a regular gloss. So the formula and the look is not my favorite, but the smell is what keeps me coming back to this. And I like this on top of a warm nude lipstick because I feel like it just adds to the warmth. I like an orange lip. I don't hate an orange lip at all. But you know, it's not my favorite gloss. I love the smell, but everything else is kind of meh. So this is why it goes in meh. All right, and then also coming in the middle is the One Size Blush Trio. So this one is the Cheek Clapper 3D Blush Trio in Freaky Peach. So I was very excited to try this product. I don't love it as much as I thought I would, but I still like it. It's still a good product. So it comes with a cream blush, a matte powder blush, and a shimmer powder blush. I really like the shimmer powder blush actually way more than I thought I was going to. And in fact, this is my favorite product of the 3 products, which is a shocker. It's not super metallic. It's a nice sheeny type of blush, a blush topper. The shade in the middle, the powder blush that's matte, is very buildable, like very buildable. I don't think it has a ton of pigment, which if I were to choose, I would prefer a buildable blush over a super pigmented blush, but I would have liked it to have a little more pigment. And then the thing that I don't really love is this cream blush. I feel like it's way too dewy and emollient for my personal taste. If you like a sheeny, dewy, hydrated blush, you probably would like this, but like I've said before, I have oily skin. I feel like it's a little too almost greasy looking on my cheeks for me personally. That's just my opinion, that's just my preference, but that is kind of where I'm at with that. The packaging, like I said about the bronzer, is really beautiful, but not my favorite blush that I tried this month. Okay, we have so much more to go. I need to move a lot faster. So here we go. I tried quite a few products from NYX. So this is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. I feel like sometimes a lot of products are really overhyped and I go in with an expectation and the stuff doesn't meet my expectation. So this is claiming to be a mattifying powder. People are saying, oh my gosh, it's so mattifying. I don't find that this is very mattifying at all. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I feel like it's a nice powder if you want to lightly set your under eyes, if you are not oily and you have normal skin, or if you wanna touch up. And that's kind of where I usually use a powder like this, it's a touch up, but I don't feel like it does a ton of mattifying. It's fine. It's just like a standard pressed powder for me personally. That's the first thing. The second thing is it broke. I don't love that. And I didn't do anything with this. I didn't put it in my purse. It's just been at my desk. I haven't done anything with it crazy. So that makes me angry. And then the thing that makes me the most angry about this is the packaging. I hate packaging like this. It's so hard to get your finger under here to open it. It's like every Wet n Wild product that ever existed. This is the same packaging as that, and it drives me nuts. It makes me mad. It puts me in a bad mood. When I go to use this, I don't want to use it because I cannot open it, especially if I've freshly painted my nails or if I have press-on nails. I do not even want to touch this product. With all that being said, it's fine. It's a functional powder. It's great. It's not mattifying enough for me personally, which I don't really use pressed powders to set because they don't usually mattify me as much, but it's fine. It's just a little overhyped in my opinion. All right, and then I tried 2 base products from Maybelline. So let me go over those. They both come in the middle. So the first one is the concealer. So this is the Superstay Active Wear Concealer from Maybelline. I have mine in the shade 10. Okay, so this concealer is okay. It's definitely not my preference, and it's not a concealer that I would ever wear on its own. I'll use this as a mix-in concealer, but I can see how some people would like it. So it's just a preference thing for me personally. I have very dark under eyes. Ever since I was a kid, I've had dark under eyes. One of my friends actually describes me as looking like the man on the train from the movie Ghost. So I need something full coverage. This is medium coverage. So right off the bat, it's not my favorite thing, but anyway, it's also a very liquidy concealer, which I feel like a lot of liquidy concealers sink into my lines a lot faster than a creamy, thicker concealer. Again, that is just my preference. That is just my opinion. If you like a medium coverage, liquidy concealer, this is actually a good one. It's not terrible. It actually lasts pretty good. It doesn't end up coming off my eyes, which a lot of concealers do. If I wear them for a long time, they end up off my eyes by the end of the day. This one lasted pretty well. It just sunk into my lines more than other concealers, and it doesn't give me enough coverage. So that's just a personal preference thing. Okay, and then this next product, when I first tried it on camera, I was appalled. I was disgusted. But the more that I'm using it, I'm figuring out how I like it. So this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Whipped Matte Makeup. So this is identical to that jarred Maybelline foundation from the early 2000s and the 90s. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The Dream Matte Mousse. Identical. They've just put it in a squeezy tube. And they've kind of made the coverage less, which I appreciate. I don't like to apply this with a brush. I don't like to apply this with a sponge. How I've been using this is on a day where I want to literally just even out my skin tone and maybe add a couple of makeup products on top. This isn't a full glam, full coverage, not medium coverage, a light coverage tint. And I will say, upon application, when I put it in my hands, I have to go like this first because I cannot put it in my hands and then put the dollop of mousse. I have to rub it here so that when I apply it, I don't feel the moussiness, okay? And then I work it into my skin. It does really look beautiful. It does really look beautiful. It does blur the skin, actually. And it gives my face more of a tan to match my body because right now my face is quite lighter than my body. So this kind of matches me out and it does really look nice and blurring. It really does. I hate to admit it, but I think it's because it's pure silicone. It's gotta be, right? Well, I don't think it doesn't have the ingredients on here, but it feels very silicone-y. So of course it's filling in pores and lines and all of that. This isn't a all day long wear, full glam type of thing like I just said, but it's nice. It's nice for a evening of the skin tone and blurring. If you can get past the texture. That's the reason why it's in the middle and not the top, is that dang mousse texture. Okay, and then we only have 2 more products left for this part of the meh. So this is the NYX Thick It Stick It Thickening Brow Mascara. So this is a tinted brow gel. It has a kind of a larger wand and it has fibers. I got mine in the shade Cool Ash Brown. I don't love this color on me. It is what I'm wearing in my brows today, just this with, I did put a clear brow gel on top because one of the downsides is I don't feel like this holds my brows. And I don't think it's claiming to be like a high hold brow gel, but that's what I like. I like a hold. I have big bushy brows. I want them plastered, I want them set, and I don't want to think about them throughout the day. This doesn't really do it for me. And also it's claiming to be thickening. I don't really feel like it's super thickening. I just feel like it's okay. It's an okay brow gel. It's not terrible. It's certainly not the best. Easy to apply, which I appreciate. Like when you pull it out, there seems to be a lot of product on the wand, but I don't feel like I have to really wipe it off or be super cautious. Like I can just kind of go in and it distributes the product pretty evenly. It doesn't get clumpy and gross. It's easy to apply. but it's fine. It's just fine. The last thing in the okay category is, and this is like kind of up at the top of the okay category, so I guess I should have put it up at the top. But I bought a bunch of the Shop Miss A Pawpaw sponges. This one is obviously used, and I've been using them a lot because I wanted to get my thoughts on them. I will tell you right now, I am a beauty blender stan. I just am, okay? Don't come for me, don't make fun of me, because I know I'm in the minority. I never ever pay full price for a beauty blender because I think $20 is absolutely ridiculous. But every time I see one on sale in a gift set with the soaps or half off or whatever off, I will buy them and I will stock up on them. But I will not pay $20 for a beauty blender. I just feel like I love the shape of the beauty blender, the size of the beauty blender, and the actual like texture and feel of it is perfect to me. And I've not found a dupe personally yet for it. I found things that are similar, and I feel like this is a really good alternative. I don't think it's a dupe, and I've heard people say it's a dupe. It's not a dupe. It does not feel at all like the Beauty Blender, but it's still a nice sponge for the price, especially. You get a pack of like 8 for a really affordable price for under $20. Really nice, and they sell them on Amazon now, and that's what kind of made me buy it. I like this. It's a nice sponge. It's fine. It's a nice teardrop shape, which I look for in a sponge. I really like shapes like this. I don't like things with flat edges. I just don't use them. So shape-wise, very similar to the Beauty Blender.
1 hour later.
Okay, the camera died. I'm back. I think I was talking about the Shop Miss A sponge. You get my thoughts. We're gonna move on. So the final category is it's gonna be a no for me, Dawg. And these are the products I didn't like. They didn't work out for me. We're gonna go real quick because we got to get through this here. Okay, so first product from the Jimi Hendrix collection. I don't have it with me right now. I have only one of the brushes, but it was a brush set that came with this bag, and it came with a set of, I think, 5 brushes, 2 face brushes and 3 eye brushes. Honestly, I don't recommend these, not because they're bad, they're fine, but I feel like there's so many other brush sets that I like the shapes of more that you could get at way cheaper price. I think the set retails for $25. You can get a BH Cosmetics full set of brushes at TJ Maxx right now for like $7.99. So I really only liked the shape of 2 of the brushes anyway, the angled liner brush and one of the eye brushes. They're okay, but I don't recommend them. They're not bad, but there are so many other options out there in my opinion. 2 more products from the Dunkin' Donuts and e.l.f. collection that I want to talk about. The primer. So this is the Do Not Forget primer, and apparently I've never used one of the putty primers before, but this is mimicking the luminous putty primer. So I can see that because this is straight up shimmer and straight up metallic, and it's in a yellowy tint. So first of all, I don't like this all over my face under makeup, and it claims to be gripping, but I don't feel like it's gripping. I feel like it just adds like a shine, which maybe if you like that, you would like this. I don't particularly like it. I also tried to use it more on the high points of my face, but I feel like whenever I put my foundation over it, it didn't really do that much for me. I just don't feel like this does anything great for me enough to want to use it. That's where I stand on that. The last thing from the Dunkin' Donuts and e.l.f. collection that this sponge. Okay, if you saw my video, you know what I mean. This sponge is way too big to use on my face. Like, it's a bath sponge. It's a bath sponge for me. Especially when it's wet, it gets giant. It's cute, but like, it's not functional. And if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I definitely would not be picking this up. I don't suggest you do either if you're looking for just like a functional face sponge. Unless you have a really big face, this might work for you. For me, it doesn't work. And then 2 more things from Flower that were kind of like the other Chrome Crush Pressed Pigment that I bought, which is in the shade Jade. So this one looks really beautiful in the actual packaging. It's like a silvery color, but on the eyes, it's very lackluster. It's not like sparkly like the other one I talked about earlier. It's kind of just like a straight metallic, but it's not very like metallic. And if I'm gonna reach for a single shadow, I want it to be special. Otherwise, I'm just gonna use a palette. This just isn't special to me. I just didn't like how it looked on my eyes. It actually kind of looked dry and it aged my eyes. And on my hand, it looks nice, but on my eyelids, I just didn't like the effect that it gave. So I wouldn't suggest this particular shade. All right, and then the last thing that I want to talk about, this is an unpopular opinion because I've heard a lot of people talking about how much they love this. This is the Flower Spotlight Liquid Highlighter. I just don't like this. It's way too much for me personally for what I like. I had a really hard time applying this without it being patchy. It's one of those products like you have to put a lot on because it's almost like a drier liquid. It's not super like liquidy. And also because of the sponge tip applicator, I feel like you have to put a lot on. If you only put a little bit, it gets really patchy, it gets dry. And I don't want to put a lot of this on because it's quite metallic, it's quite sparkly. It's not my type of highlighter. If you like a super beaming bright highlighter and you like liquid highlighters, you might like this. I just don't. It's too much for me and it looks too chunky and it's not easy to use and it's not easy to blend. That's just how I feel. And again, it just might be me. It just might be my problem. It's very possible, but I'm really not gonna reach for this. I also tried it under makeup. I don't know, not a fan. All right, and that is it for this speed reviews. It wasn't very speedy. This is probably going to be a long video, but I had all this makeup I wanted to tell you about and give you my thoughts on, my final thoughts after testing it and testing it and testing it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comments about any of these products. Have you tried any of them? Do you want to try any of them? Leave me any of your thoughts down in the comments. I so appreciate when you leave comments. It really makes my day. I love reading through the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, both beauty and fashion videos, and I would love to see you back on my channel. I want to thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time. Bye.